Hello everybody, this is Barbary, the Wexford Stamper. So excited to be back and happy Tuesday to everyone. And I hope everyone is having a great start to their week. The weather has been pretty great, getting a little hot as we go on through the week here, but hey, it is August after all. And I can't believe it's August already, but it's August. But we are starting our August using a brand new suite. And I'm going to go ahead and put the picture up here to show you exactly the suite. This is in the new annual catalog and it's called the Tea Boutique Suite. And it is pretty darn amazing. Can I tell you that much at least? It has, as most of them do, they have a bundle that includes a set of stamps. These are cup of tea and then the coordinating dies. And it also has, of course, the amazing DSP. But in this one, it has something a little unusual or unique, maybe is a better word. It has a set of coordinating cards and envelopes that you can use to make your cards. So you don't have to pull out the card stock. You can go ahead and use these as your card bases. And then you can go ahead and just grab your DSP and your stamps and dies and go to town on those little card bases. But today I'm actually doing something a little different. So before we get to that, let me show you. We just had a card event using this suite. And let's go ahead and get back on me here. And we made these fun fold cards, and you can see here what the DSP looked like. It was pretty darn amazing, pretty beautiful. But I think what I like the most about this set is the very cute little die cuts. I really have not used a lot of the stamps other than the sentiments for that, because I just love how the dies really stand out and can make your cards look so beautiful. And you can see here the different colors, the color palette that is in this suite. It's just gorgeous. I just love it. And this is a fun fold card we made, and it has a little belly band, comes off like that, and then you just open your card like that. And my stamping friends had the kit with this suite, and they were able to make 12 cards using this kit, and that is 3 of each of these. So that was my kit that we used. Hey Mary, how are you? Hey, it's almost football season. Are you getting excited? I am. All right, so we are going to use the suite, but I want to focus a little bit more on these cards and envelopes. We talked a little bit about them. Here they are. Here are the card bases. The inside is white, and then you have your card front of the base is a pattern that coordinates with the colors in the DSP, with your ink pads, and then you can grab a envelope that matches as well. So this is just a fabulous set of cards and envelopes that you can use to make some cards quickly. Now, hey Deb, and I am going to do that in a little bit, but for this one this week and next week, I'm going to show you some little 3D items that you can use making these, these card bases and coordinating envelopes. And specifically, we're going to be using an envelope. And here is the little treat holder that we're going to be making this evening. And this is actually an envelope from this set. Let me show you. You're going to slide off the belly band. Come on, belly band. There we go. And then you open it up. You can see how it is the envelope, but it's a real quick way to make a little treat. And since we were sticking with the theme today, I found these nice treats to keep it tea related. We have 2 tea bags and 2 of the little cookies, and they fit perfectly inside. So I have 2 of those, and then we have 2 of these, and I kind of stack those on top of each other, and then it closes. And then you go ahead and put the little triangular belly band on there. So very simple. Wait till I show you how fun and easy it is to make these little treat bags. But if you're in a rush and you don't have time to make some treat bags, you can grab an envelope and make one. That's how easy they are. All right, let's go ahead and grab an envelope. Remember, we're going to be using the envelopes from the Tea Boutique. So here is an envelope. All right. Now, always remember that following this Facebook Live, you can go to my blog and there will be a download for the directions this evening. So don't worry about directions. Just follow along. It's really easy once you get the hang of it. They're very easy to make. Okay, let's start with our envelope. So any card size envelope would work for this. Okay, this one makes it easy because it already has colors. If it was a white envelope, you would maybe want to do some stamping or some sponging or something on it, but it's just super fun to be able to make these so quickly. All right, so let's go ahead and grab our scoring board. And what you're going to need to do is on 3 of the sides, so those are the sides excluding the flap, okay? We're going to score at 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so let me make sure I'm in the picture here. So I'm going to go to 3/4 here, and you'll want to really give it a good score so you can really get a strong score line there. Okay, then I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to score again at 3/4. And it's easier to score from the bottom up because it's hard to put the flap end against the top. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing up here. Score at 3/4, which is going to actually be 5. Okay, so 3/4 from both ends and 3/4 from the middle. That's it. That's all the scoring, believe it or not. All right, watch how fun this comes together. All right, I'm going to grab my bone folder, and we're going to go ahead and really, really crease these. I'm going to go both ways with this. Okay, so I'm going to crease this way, and then I'm going to crease this way. And same over here. All right, so we've got some serious score lines creased there. Hey, Joanne, welcome. I sent it off yesterday. I hope you get your box soon. All right, now, one thing we need to do before we start creating the box is we have to make a fold diagonal line. Okay, let me show you where they're gonna go. You're not gonna, obviously, once you figure this out, you're not gonna have to draw your lines. But if you look here at the bottom of the envelope, you can see on both corners there's a square. Okay, that's a 3/4 by 3/4 inch square. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is fold from corner to corner, going out. So you don't really have to draw those lines, but once you get and understand where it is, you won't have to make those lines. But I just wanted to show you just so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and just fold that little square corner to corner right on that line and just pinch it. Okay, give it a good pinch. Okay, then I'm going to turn it the other way and pinch again. Okay, so now I have that corner pinched just like that. Do the same over here. Corner to corner. We're just going to fold. This will make more sense as we create the bottom of the box. Okay, so there we go. And I'm going to fold it the other way just to give it a little more crease, and then it will behave and cooperate a little bit more. All right, so there we go. We have those ready. Now I'm going to reach my hand inside the envelope, and I'm going to push down on the bottom to create I'm going to push down on the bottom of the envelope to create the bottom of the bag. And you're going to notice that these little tabs pop up. They're triangular because of the way we folded the diagonal across. And they are just going to be folded flat down onto the bottom of the bag and glued, okay? So let me go ahead and grab my Tombow. Just a little bit of Tombow on both of those. Then I'm going to fold them over, and I'm going to set this down on my workspace here and just push down a little bit. And you can see how that has created the bottom of the bag that easily. So that's really probably the hardest part of making the bag, is just being sure to crease them nice and strongly so that they'll go ahead and form those triangles back down there. Okay, now the last thing we need to do before we start decorating is I'm going to put a little bit of glue on that inside of the 3/4 inch panel here on the side and just glue that down like that. Because this is going to be our flap, so we want to kind of make that all one piece like that. And then as you come down here, you want to make sure you're pushing these pleats in. And then you just fold it over on the score line that is given for the envelope. And there you have it. How easy isn't that? Isn't that fun? You're really easy to put together and doesn't take long to get the hang of it. But it is a good size little treat bag. Okay, as I said before, I had put some of these yummy tea cookies in here, Bischoff. These you can get, I got at my local grocery store. You can get them in little individually wrapped too. So I go ahead and place 2 of those in there. And then behind, which I don't have right now, I just put 2 tea bags. Okay, but you could make these and have, you know, all kinds of different treats in there. But there's lots and lots of room. Notice how it has that nice pleat down the side. That's actually the pleat on the side of the envelope, but it makes the bag look very, very nice and tailored and very professional. So it's really simple to make. So there is your treat bag, and now I'm going to show you how to make the rest of the bag, including our belly band and our embellishments. Okay, so the next thing you're going to need is a piece of your choice of cardstock. I chose the Parakeet Party, and this is cut at 2 by 10. Okay, scored at 1 1/4, 5, 8 3/4. All these dimensions are on the downloadable PDF if you'd like. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and fold over on these. Give them a bit of a press. Then I'm going to grab my bag, so you want to make sure all your stuff's in there. And you want to put that center score line right on top of your bag, and then you fold the other around the bottom. Okay? Then I'm going to go ahead, take a little more of my Tombow. Put a little on the bottom there, and then I'm going to fold over the back portion of the belly band and just hold that for a minute. So that's how easy that is to put together. Okay, super simple. I'm out of the picture today. Haven't done it for a few weeks. I'm out of practice, I guess. So that is the base of every single one. You certainly could use ribbon instead if you want to close it with ribbon, but I've always been such a fan of the belly band. So that's how it's going to look. And I kind of took my inspiration from my card class. This is one of the cards from my card class. I kind of took the inspiration from that embellishment on here for my bag. But I do love these colors. How about that parakeet party and Tahitian tie together? That is just so pretty. All right, well, let's go ahead and make our little embellishment for the middle. Let me talk about some of the pieces we have here. These are all made using the die cuts from this set, other than the circle and the coordinating scallop, which is in Starry Night. Everything else is cut from the dies that go with this set. This set has just amazing, amazing dies. I thought to myself when I saw this in the catalog, I already have a T1. I'm not really that excited about this. And then when I started to play with it, I just love it. This has just so many uses. And using the die cuts, I just feel like it makes such a beautiful, beautiful project. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and glue on my basic white. Let me go ahead and measure this to give you an idea what size circle we're talking. This one is, let's see, 2 1/8. And then it's coordinating scallop. These are the layering circle dies. One of my favorites, oldies but goodies. And there we go. Okay, there is our base for that. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my teacup. My teacup is in the Tahitian Tide, and then my overlay, which I just love these. This is just so cute. It's also really great if you do the overlay in the same color, and then it just gives it a little bit of depth. But I just, you know, whenever I can add a little more parakeet party to a project, I am all over it. So I made the overlay in the parakeet party, and I just put a couple tiny little dots of Tombow, just in a couple strategic places. Don't try to cover every single spot on the back of that overlay, or you'll be sticking to your project before you finish. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place this on my circle using a couple of dimensionals. Let me grab my dimensionals. And I am tipping it just a slight bit, just like that. I don't know why, I just do. Okay, so there we go. There is that. Now look at this here. Love this. This is the lemon. I cut out the wedge of the lemon in So Saffron. And then the little segments, I cut that portion out using the Daffodil Delight, just to give it a little bit of contrast. And I'm gonna go ahead and just put a little tiny dot right there in the largest portion and just glue it down like that. Don't have to try to cover the whole thing. You'll get yourself very gluey and frustrated. So there is the cute lemon. Isn't that adorable? All right, now I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little bit of glue on the back, and I am just gonna slide that behind my cup, and that's gonna lay flat down on the circle. Okay, make sure you can see what I did there. Isn't that so cute? These dies just are great. Now, last thing we need to add is the little tea tag, and that is in basic white. And then I have, excuse me, a little heart that is also included in the suite. And I'm gonna put the little heart right there on the tea tag. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness. Can't get over this. Then I'm gonna take my little tea tag. I just put a tiny little dot there, and I'm gonna grab my pick tool this time. And I just kind of put it up here like the string is in the teacup and my little tag is hanging over the edge. There we go. So cute. Isn't that just adorable? So pretty. I just love the colors in this suite. All right, so let's go ahead and bring in our bag, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to add this to the front of our treat bag. Let me get I'm going to put 3 dimensionals on the back because this is a very important portion of our treat bag, and we don't want it to fall off when people are opening and closing, sliding off the belly band. All right, so you want to try to get it centered on that belly band, and there you go. Isn't that so cute? Ay, ay, ay. But this is a project you could do with just plain basic white and, you know, for any theme. All right, let me go ahead and do the last thing, which is go ahead and put my sentiment on. I'm going to grab a 1/2 inch strip of basic white cardstock, grab my Starry Night ink, and I'm going to bring in my stamp that says, "Thank you for your friendship." This would be a really cute little friend gift. And I'm going to stamp it down on my strip. Love the font, so cute. That all capital font is really, really cute. Okay, then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to snip straight across here and give it a little bit of a haircut on this side too. There we go. All right, now since we've used double dimensionals so far, I'm just going to lay this flat down on the front of the teacup. So no more dimensionals. Just going to put a little bit of glue on the middle of this strip, and then I'm going to go ahead and place that a little to the right on my cup. And there we have it. How easy is that? This set of card bases and envelopes, there are 20 in that pack, so you could make a bunch of these little treat bags using that envelope set, and just pull up a few of the dies and put those together, and you will have a beautiful little treat bag made from an envelope. So I hope you liked that, and I wanted to share with you, we have a new card event coming up in August, and I am starting my Christmas cards, and this is the August kit. My August, September, and October card kits will all be Christmas cards. So you'll make 15 cards each month, so by the time you finish all 3 months, you'll have 45 cards for Christmas to send. And for the first month, we are featuring products from the Boughs of Holly suite. And here I'll show you kind of in real time here what these cards look like. You're going to get a pack of designer series paper. You're going to get a pack of the fun foil, the what's it called? Festive foil. I was close. Festive foil. And then of course I love to use the die cuts with the holly and the berries. And so this is going to be one of the cards. There are going to be 3 different designs, 3 of each design. 5 of each design plus envelopes. So that's the first. Love this. I always like to make a neutral one. This is on the Sahara sand. And then this is a great one. I love the combination of the Evening Evergreen and the So Saffron. Very pretty. And here we have a little bit of the foil used for the holly leaf die cut. So you'll have 5 of those to make. And then there is just some gorgeous, gorgeous poinsettia paper in this suite as well. And there's also some of these great wooden elements. So we're going to make 5 of these cards as well, plus envelopes. So that is my next kit. So if you're interested, let me know. I'll be taking orders till the second week in August so I can get everything ready by the end of the month. If you are coming to my home for the in-person event, that is on Friday, August 26th at 6:30. Okay? If you can't make it, I always offer to-go kits that have a video tutorial link to go with it. So hope you can join me for that. And I hope you enjoyed the project this evening. Next week, I'm going to actually make a 3D item using one of the card bases. So come on back next Tuesday and see what I create, what type of a 3D item that I can create with this card base. Keep you thinking and wondering what I'm going to make. So thanks again for joining. So glad to be back. I had a wonderful holiday in the UK. The travel was horrible, but once we got there and had time to spend with my daughter and her husband, it was just amazing. So glad to be back, but I really had a wonderful time. I'm getting excited to get into my crafting as the holiday season starts. So stay tuned, and I hope to see you again. All right, take care. Bye now.